Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I just want to show you how to center elements. Yeah, it's just gonna be basically on centering, how to position your elements. Alright, so let's get started. I'll go to the root folder here. I'm gonna create a file. I'll call it index2 since I already have index1.html, and then I'll go to my CSS right here. I'm gonna create style2 because I already have style1.css. Okay, so I will head over here and use my boilerplate. Yeah, so I'm gonna have how to position elements. So I'm gonna how to, or I can just call it centering, something like centering. Yeah, that will make more sense. So I'm going to copy this index2. I'm gonna copy the path, go over to my browser. I'm gonna paste it right here, and yeah, you can see we have empty page with the title centering. Okay, so let's go back. So the next thing we're going to do is to link our style.css to this HTML page. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the word link :css. So here we're going to call the asset folder, so right here we're going to call the assets, we call the css slash, then we have our style2.css. so we can save that and then head over here. Okay, it's linked now. So I'm going to add a header here, and then inside this header I'm going to add div. So inside the div, let's add h1. We say elements to be positioned or positioned. All right, something like that. And then we're gonna h4. This demonstrates how to position elements using Flex and Absolute Positioning. Yeah, because this is what we're gonna really be talking about. So in this tutorial we're gonna be using Flex, and we're gonna use the Absolute Positioning too, to have this element either centered or positioned, depending on what you want. So I'm gonna refresh this page. So we have these elements to be positioned. You can see where it is located. Okay, so we head over. I think we're done with our HTML. That's all we're gonna do with HTML. So the next thing we're going to do is go to our style.css. First of all, I'm going to do some resetting. So we're gonna have margin to be 0. I'm gonna have padding. So I'm saying for all the elements, I want the margin to be 0. I want the padding to be 0. That's the initial. And then I want the border box. Box sizing. I'm gonna box sizing to be border box. Okay. So I will head over to the header. Select the header, and for the header, I want the height to be 100 view height. I want the width is going to be 100 view width, and then we're going to add a background. So we're going to use URL because we want to add background image, and we call the asset, call our AMG, then call the banner .this. I'm going to save that. Let's go over here and refresh. So you can see we have our image right here. So I'm going to say background repeat, no repeat, because I don't want it to repeat. We want it to be no repeat. I'm going to add background sizing. I want it to be cover, and then background position, I want it to be center. I want it to center. All right, center. So this is just styling the header. I mean, it has nothing to do with centering the element yet. So you can see the image where it is positioned, center, and then cover. Okay, so now we're going to start with the flex. So we want to center this element either to vertically at the center, horizontally at the center, or both vertical and horizontal, center right here. So let's get it started. So what we're going to simply do, we're going to say display flex. So we want it to display as flex, and then we want to say align items center. So I'm going to save this, then go back here and refresh. So you can see that align item center, or first of all, I'm going to comment this out. I want to show you something for the flex. So when we have it as flex, nothing actually happens. It still remain the same. Now the reason is because we only have one child element. Okay, this is just one child element. When you're using flex, you should make sure that all the elements are, you know, the parent element has only one child element, you know, and inside the child element you can have multiple child element inside. So this is what we are looking at. So if we want to position this element vertically, we want to be vertically at the center, at the y-axis. We call it the y-axis. We want it to be center. So you simply use the align item center. So if I go here and refresh, you can see it will come right down here. So it is center vertically, but not centered horizontally. All right. So that is on that. And if we want to, I'm going to comment this out and refresh this again. So if we want to align it horizontally, I'm going to save that. Sorry. If we want this to be in the horizontal, like in the x-axis, we're going to use another property, that is justify content center. Okay, so I'm gonna save this and then I'll come over here and refresh. So you can see it is at the center right here, center to the x. Okay, it's center to the x. So that if I wanted to go to the end here, I will use the property flex end. I'm gonna save that and refresh. You can see it goes to the end because I said flex end. So we have, under the flex, we have the flex start, the flex center, and we have the flex end. Okay, so now if I want this element to be centered, so we normally call it center to center because center from the x-axis center, from the y-axis center, so we call it center to center. So if I want it to be center to center, I'm going to comment this out and I'm going to refresh this. So when I'm done, okay, it comes down here. Sorry, that one is the end. I have to remove it from end and put it at center. So when I come over here and refresh, you can see it sits at the center. So this is really how you can position your element using using flex. So let's say we want to, here for the align items, we can also say flex start. We can use the flex start. Let's try flex end and then come over here and refresh this up page. So you see it goes at the end, but if I want to flex start, is going to be at the start here, so it'll be here. Okay, so this is pretty much how you can do that with flex. So I'm going to comment this out because we're done with flex. So this goes back. So I want to show you how to use the absolute positioning right here. We're done with the flex. I want to show you how to use absolute positioning. So in absolute positioning, what we need to do, what we want to write here in the head, in the header, that is the parent container, it's position. We just want the position to be relative. That's all we're going to do here for the parent container. So you can see nothing happens, it stays the way it is. Okay, so we're going, in this case, we're going to select this child element. We have a child element right here. Here you can see we have this. So we're going to style it. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to say header div, because I mean that's the child element. So the position of this is going to be absolute. Now if I save that and go back, nothing happens. It's still the way it is, nothing happens. Okay, so we're going to add top. We're going to make top to be 50%, and then we make left to be also 50% right here. If I save that, let me save it and go back to my browser, so you see where it is. This is not really at the center. Okay, so we have to add another property, that is transform. We have to transform it. So we say transform, and then we're going to translate it. So we're translating both x and y 50%. I'm going to add 50% here, and I'm going to add minus 50% here also, and save that. Then if I go back to my browser and refresh, you can see it is sitting right at the center. Okay, so the question is, what if I want it to be here or here or here or here, or you know, I mean, what if I don't want it to be center to center? So we can control just the way we're using aligner terms and justify content. We can use the top and bottom here. So let's say we don't want to deal with the top. I'm going to comment this out, and then here, remember the left, when you talk about left has to do with the x-axis. So I'm going to add x right here. I'm going to add x, and I'm going to remove 1 because we just want it to be only one. So come over here and then refresh. So you can see it is sitting right here. Okay, that is for the X. It is at the center of the X to X like this. But if I want it to be Y, if I want it to sit Y here, I want it to be aligned to the Y axis. So what I need to do is I'm going to uncomment this, I'm going to comment this, and then I'm going to simply change the X to Y because I want it to be in the Y axis. So I'll refresh this. You can see it is sitting right here. So another thing with the absolute positioning is if you don't want to use this, I mean, you can pretty much use anything. I mean, you can use values, you can use other values, but in this case I just wanted to show how you can do some centering. Maybe you want it to be at the center basically. So that is the essence of this tutorial. Okay, so you can see right here it can be at the center, but here we have to remove this and then add -50% and then comment this out. So when we come over here and refresh, you can see it sits right at the center. So this is basically how you go to center. If I inspect this page, let me do some inspection. If I inspect the page, you can see it is still sitting at the center. You know, in every screen is going to be at the center. Okay guys, so this is pretty much how you can do some positioning with Flex and Absolute Positioning. Thank you very much for watching and for staying with me to the end of the video. Please don't forget to comment if you have any problem. Don't forget to click on the notification bell so that when we post more videos you're going to get update from us, and also to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thank you very much for watching.